on this matter. Mr. Kpebu, good evening. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Good.
Let me take your opinion on this development, the continuous detention of Abronye, the Bono regional chairman of the MPP. The MPP says what the police service or in general what is happening is not the best as far as the law is concerned. You agree to that or you disagree?
Oh, definitely I agree in respect of this particular case. I absolutely agree. This is a misdemeanor. So that's to say, in law, it's one of the smallest offenses. And it is even said that when it is before the court, the accused person can go and plead. Even if the complainant is not agreeing, let's even take our time and explain this way. When the case is called in court, after bail has been granted or refused, the accused person through his lawyer, or if he doesn't have a lawyer and he knows the law, he can even plead that the case be taken to ADR. And ADR means the Alternative Dispute Resolution. That's to say they should try and settle it through mediation, etc. And so when they go and it's worked, then they will come back. The ADR, they've set it up in such a way that there are ADR offices in the court. Okay? Yeah, but in the courthouse, there's an ADR office. There are people there, trained personnel there, etc., who can go through. And if it's they will come back to court, not the same day, another day. And eventually the case can even be cancelled without the court going into the merits and eventually finding the person guilty and punishing him. So I'm going on and on about this to show that what he's being charged with generally is a small offense. And please, let's be very clear. I don't support the content of or the statements that he made. No. We are fully analyzing the law to see how we can, help ourselves. Because just a few years ago, it was Kuku Anidohu. Okay, just last year there was Oliver Bakavomaho, and even the years before, right? And so many people. And let me also mention this in passing. When Kuku Anidohu's own came, and Latifi to your colleague journalist went to report, cover it at the police headquarters, he was hit on his head. Though. The injuries he suffered, it was just God that intervened. That long story short, we found the money to travel to the US how many years ago to do surgery. Till date. Then he went again the second time. Next week, he will go again for another round of treatment. Can you imagine? And so we need funding. So people who want to donate, please, Latif, if you saw his medical bills over $25,000. Okay. So through this, a journalist goes to cover the story and gets hurt, and now he is billed. That's the ones that are pending. The ones who pay over $40,000. Okay. So the point we're making is that, look, this offense is not as big as it's being made out to look or made to look like. It's not. It's a small one. And so generally, we don't refuse bail. No. Because it's a small offense, usually it shows that the person is not likely to run. And so if he's not likely to run, you admit him to bail. Even the big ones that usually we consider in the ones that the person is likely to abscond, that's a flight risk. In 2016, the Supreme Court said no, we cannot just say blanket, everybody charged with this kind of offense will flee. It's a flight risk, so don't grant bail. So the Supreme Court broke down that law and said the judge should assess each accused person. When an accused person comes, the judge should assess. If the judge sees that the person has strong links, social, economic, political ties, grant bail, even though it is murder, even though it is robbery, even though it is treason, etc. You remember ACT Abronye? Yes, we stood for him. He was granted bail. He didn't flee. Eventually, he won the case. Colonel Kamele, in the same case, also won the case. Then another accused person, 3 of them, they were acquitted. But if we had kept them in custody for 5-6 years, you see the damage would have done. So usually, the law wants to grant bail, okay, if only there are chances that the person will not abscond. Then go into the matter subsequently. If you find him guilty, then you can punish. And even if you are punishing, as I said, the punishment is from fine up to a maximum of 3 years. Maximum 3 years. So this is a small offense that somebody in the position of a regional chairman is not likely to abscond. It's a small offense. The judge can finish and say, okay, punishment, pay, fine, let's say 500 penalty units. You can multiply 500 by 12. When we say a penalty unit in law, it is 12 cedis. That's for only Ghana. I don't know about other countries, so it's not general. So in Ghana, one penalty unit is 12 cedis. So if they say 500 penalty units, multiply 500 by 12, you get a number of 30 cedis to be paid. Okay, so there's that option. And like I said earlier, this is a case that even when big people in MPT go to beg IG, this case can be withdrawn. Remember that just a few months ago, didn't Kufuado, or no, if you Kufuado was in charge, IG Yowunu was deputy IG. So you can see that he has some rapport with them on the SPG side. So if the right caliber of seniors in the MPP go to IG and plead with him, this thing can be withdrawn. You remember that, oh, these people, they made me deputy IG. And you know that it's not exams. So to become IG or deputy, it's not exams. You have to have some favor. So you remember how Kufuado gave him deputy IG. So now today, if Kufuado's people are here to beg, look, please let's drop this case. He will apologize. I believe Yowunu cannot refuse. They can't. You see, so all of this show that this is not a serious case to say he should stay in custody for one more week. We can't allow that to happen in this country. So we are begging IG Yowunu. He wasn't in court. It's his men. Those down the ladder. You see, in the services, you hear something they call I-service or face fine. So in every institution, there is the institutional politics. So the people charged with this case like that, they will try to get the worst kind of punishment or treatment for Abronye, hoping that IG will be very happy and then it can increase their chances of promotion. That's I-service. Do it in a way that the boss will be pleased, face fine. So everywhere there's politics. So Abronye can become the victim of internal politics, somebody who wants promotion. Oh, my Lord, we are not done. We need one more week, and they throw him in. So by now they are celebrating that, yeah, I got him remanded. Next time, tomorrow again, then hoping that IG will hear and be happy that, hey, my boys have done well. This is not good policing. This is not good policing. It's terrible policing. Terrible policing. That something like misdemeanor like this, you are saying that Abronye has to stay in custody before you can investigate. Well, then we are not safe. If that is it, then I'm telling you that this country is not safe. If for this kind of offense, Abronye cannot be walking around whilst investigations are going on, then I can bet you that we are not safe as a country. Look, let's be very clear, because this has spoken for how many years now? When Kuku Anido, who was arrested during NDC, we spoke. People insulted that. They said we were foolish, security of the state, Ekufuado security, and we don't love Ghana, we are enemies of the nation, blah, blah, blah. You see, that's what they call you do me, I do you. And that song, you do me, I do you. Man no go vex, right? So you see that there's that angle where some foot soldiers will be happy that you did that to Kuku Anido, you did that to, you remember even at 214 and there was no case. Corporate Dami was on tape saying that the Kufuado and Opoyata say you should try and get them convicted so that at all costs there will be what? A by-election in Atu 14's constituency. Remember Oliver Bakavomawo, I'm a governor for 8 years. You see those things they are doing.
Okay.
So
okay, Martin, sorry to interrupt, but let me just ask this question. Bail, is bail at the discretion of the judge, or they are laid down procedures in the granting of bail?
Both at the discretion of the judge, but that discretion is exercised according to law. So that is what I first stated that. So when the judge is number one, it is a bailable offense. Number two, one of the key things, so we are talking about Section 96 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act, Act 30, Section 96. So you find various ways of going about it. And I'm saying that one of the key things they will look at is this offense. If a person, hypothetically, if a person is convicted, what is the punishment? So generally, when the punishment is very severe, then that's the one that you would generally scrutinize the accused very well to be sure that he doesn't abscond. So assuming it is murder and the accused, is, let's say, unemployed graduate, not even university graduate, let's say SS, just came out of SS, unemployed, no wife, no children, doesn't own property, etc. Then you see that, hey, this one there, no, his roots are very thin, he can run. But Flip it to the other side. This is Abronye, regional chairman, and it wasn't just appointment. He had to convince people. You look at people in the Brown Hafu region, had to convince them to vote for him to become chairman. So by that act of persuasion, etc., you see that yes, this man is not a lawyer, he's not a doctor, but he has something that you and I don't have. Okay? And so for him to have succeeded in winning that election, he has some roots, he has strong roots. So this is not a man likely to flee over a matter of a misdemeanor. Even though I can show you murder cases, etc., that we've done, then you see that they are ordinary people. They just grant bail, they don't run away. Of course, some run away, but I'm just saying that. So some of these offenses, you see ordinary citizens, they don't run away. Earlier on, I referred you to the case of Abronye and Co. They didn't run. The guys in One prison, a lot of them, they were on bail. So you look at it, you see Alan Debra, most of them, they were on bail. So they used to come from home. And the day they were convicted, they came from home, were convicted, and were taken to One. So it tells you that nowadays, the absconding rate has come down. That's how come the Supreme Court declared the offenses non-bailable in 2016. So for Abronye to be held in custody for another 1 week, please, we are begging, Monday, the prosecution and the defense, they can go back to court. There are necessary processes they can file, go back to court, and Abronye will be granted bail. That is what, as Ghanaians, we should be hammering. It's allowed. They can file papers in court on Monday morning, and they will be heard. They say Monday, the judge will just ask for time to look at it. So you can say, okay, if you've just brought it 9 o'clock, I'm working, I'm busy now. You can come back 12 or come back 2 p.m. The judge can look at it. The judge can look at it, and then that same Monday they will grant bail. Otherwise, the other option is that you go to what do you call it, High Court. But the High Court is likely to cause more delays because right now the docket is with the police. So if you go to High Court, whatever you file, a copy will have to be served on Dr. Ayeni. Now, that's the Attorney General. Then the Attorney General, usually in practice, they don't have the full docket. So they cannot answer the things you write inside. Administratively, they then have to write to the police that give us the docket, that the investigations that have been done so far, etc., so that they will look in and respond. All of that cannot be done on Monday. It can cause further delay. Look, a practical example was, you see Oliver, when Oliver and Co, Ama Governor and Co, when they were thrown in last year, we made a lot of noise. We protested against the Judicial. You see that when they went to the High Court, because of this matter of bring the docket, etc., you see that they were delayed. Of course, we complained to let the courts know that we're not happy with the way our heroes, Oliver, Ama Governor and Co, were being treated. You see, but you saw the delay. So if they go to High Court in this case, it may also delay.
Okay. Martin, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Martin Kpebu is a private legal practitioner speaking to us on the matter. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in